It's like when you watch it now, you're like, this is extra action, man. You need all this action.
Yeah.
You just like blowing up, just random blowing up stuff like that constantly.
For no reason.
Yeah. All right. So we watch it now. You're like, this is yep. Okay. So we are live. Let me hit record. Put your little. Yep. Okay. We already hit record. All right. Welcome to Calvin Up Podcast. I'm really, really blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like we try to keep it educational, but we got a music artist. We got a person that is a master at organizing noise. He's not only a master at singing, he can play the guitar, he can play the piano. My brother man, Karlos Farrar, he is a Detroit native, but he is on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get that nice little 3-degree weather. I don't know what that's like. But how you doing today, Karlos?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
How's your
Definitely
day?
enjoying the weather.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And did y'all hit triple digits? And what that suntan like?
Um, so it was really hot like a few weeks ago, like
Uh-huh.
117. It's actually going back down now, and it's tolerable. I was just actually out there. I actually preferred the weather out there.
Okay, dope. Yeah, I actually agree. The because you're in the West Coast. I just think Detroit
Yeah,
summer is like perfect because it's like no humidity. But if you go to like Virginia or the South, it's like there's literally like people in the air that's like stopping you from moving. That's how humid it is. And I don't know if you've ever been
yeah.
to New Orleans.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, a few
yeah,
times.
the humidity there is like crazy, man.
Yeah,
So shout out to no
it's
humidity, man.
yeah.
But my brother Karlos is on the podcast. Thank you so much for just blessing me, man. Let's go ahead and jump into it, man. So from Detroit, man, which part of Detroit you from?
Just on the east side, over off
Okay.
Chandler Park, Harper area. You know what I mean?
All
Grew up
right.
there most of my life.
And it's funny that you say that. We actually did a tour of the East Side just recently, with the current job that I'm at, and we passed through Chandler Park, man. And I currently live on the West Side, and it's completely different, man. The West Side and the East Side, like they're, you know what I'm saying, they're the same, but they're completely different, right? So just tell the audience what's the difference between like an East Sider from Detroit compared to a West Sider from Detroit. But you all from Detroit, you know what
You
I'm
know,
saying, representing. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. You know what, bro? I hear like growing up, I've seen it, and I mean, maybe the housing is slightly different. I
mm-hmm.
would say these days, I was just out there yesterday, this past weekend, and I would say that the East Side now is a little more. It's a little more abandoned. It seems like it's a lot of
Mm,
buildings that they need to, probably. I feel like they put a lot of money into the actual downtown and the city, but
right.
kind of they need to put more money into our neighborhoods. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
from as Yeah, as far as my neighborhood, it feels now growing up, it was great. Like as a kid, we outside all day, having a great time. All the neighbors knew each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think the overall feeling for me in Detroit as a whole now, as far as like the neighborhoods go, it just seems kind of. I'm not gonna say abandoned. It just seems like
Desolate.
empty.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and I kind of get that feeling on both sides lately. Like the few times that I've gone back.
absolutely.
I I don't really see that. I just like this east side west side beef has been going on forever. Like I just be like I don't know, man. Like
Right.
it's
You want to make
I
music.
never got it me personally. Yeah, I never got it personally, but I think it's funny. It is entertaining sometimes. Like when the BMF show
Right.
came out and they was doing the
Yeah.
what's my man name? What was the villain on BMF?
Oh Lord, it's so
Whatever the
many,
old boy
man.
name. You know, Yeah, he was like they was like, oh, he giving East Side energy, and they were saying Meech was giving West Side energy, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. So we definitely don't want to divide and conquer, man. But Detroit is a historical place. Is one of the reasons why I moved to Detroit, just because of the history. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're driving past Detroit, if you're nostalgic, you can literally see like, just the history, like literally in the concrete,
Yeah,
right? So Detroit has a rich music history. How has your, city's music legacy influenced your artistic style? If so, if not, but if it has, in what ways?
man. Me personally, I feel like Motown started it all as far as like the genre of R&B going mainstream. It was always around. Obviously, black people we've always been us, musically inclined and just very talented and gifted. And I feel like Barry Gordy just spotlighted that and took it to the next level. Everybody. I mean, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, like the Jackson Five. All the greats, Marvin Gaye, like everybody they have influenced everybody. You know what I mean? Like it's really no way to even get around like music without bringing up Detroit. Like we founded American pop music, basically, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's proud. I get a proud feeling every time I talk about it because it's like without that, none of this would really exist, in my opinion.
And growing up, what were some artists that influenced you?
Well, I'm a dancer too, so like I like to dance. So obviously Michael Jackson was like super big in my household. My dad was a huge Prince fan. I got to say that I don't condone anything that R. Kelly,
Right.
his allegations, but his music in the time, he was very influential in my household. Usher is like one of my biggest influences though. Like Usher is like super. Him and Justin Timberlake are like my guys, and then Genuine, of course. And then as I got older and I really started to like really dive into music, my pops would always play like Marvin Gaye and Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder and all those guys. I didn't feel like I would listen to it. Obviously, it was always blaring out the speakers. So I would know the songs, but like really, as you get older, when you start to feel those emotions and learning how to really tap into when you sing and to connect with the audience on an emotional level, those guys are incredible. Like they were masters at the craft. So as I got older, I really started to understand like why these guys were those guys. And those are just a few.
Let's stay on that, right? So describe that feeling of when you hear. I was telling Seven, like my very first rap song that I listened to was the Men in Black song. You know what I'm saying? The Men in Black intro song. I literally remember all the lyrics. I didn't know the lyrics. I knew how they sound. You know what I mean? That's a small influence, right? I didn't pick up, you know what I'm saying, the mic and started rapping like Will Smith, right? I wasn't that inspired. But just kind of give us like a description on what's it like to be like hear a song that you never heard before, and what is that process of like inspiration that goes into you wanting to sing or wanting to learn how to dance or wanting to do music. Let's try to unpack that feeling of, like you said, emotions. Like what does it feel like when you emotionally get tapped in by music, and kind of talk about the after effects of that.
For me, it's just like a feeling of joy. That's like the best way for me to describe it. For me, like I just feel it's like the ultimate like feeling of just like feeling proud and happy. Like this is my happiest moment. Like you know what I mean? Like
give us an example. Like yeah.
I mean,
go
like
ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. Time I heard, the first time I heard, let's see, the first time I heard Belle Biv DeVoe, like as a kid, you know what I'm saying? That just the sounds and Bobby Brown and like that whole, like I'm a huge New Edition fan. Those are some other influences, like the feeling of just wanting to dance, like the feeling that made you feel like, yo, this is fun, this is energetic. Like I want to make other people. I want to make people feel how they're making me feel right now, and that's where it kind of, for me, that's where it kind of trickled down. And I'm like, this is what I want. Nothing else makes me as happy as a kid. Obviously I have kids now, like I love them and they make me happy. But like at the time as a kid, when you're young, nothing else made me happier than doing that. So I feel like that was my calling to lean in towards that. And I feel like that's what everybody should do. When you find something that makes you happy, the thing that makes you the happiest is what you should lean more into, because that, to me, that's God telling you, yo, this is what you should be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I wanted to sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Lord, I just lost my train of thought. I had the question in my head. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second.
No, it's all good.
What was gonna ask you? No, it wasn't that. I wanted to ask you. All right, forget it. But pretty much,
it'll come back.
Yeah, it'll come back. But so so what other influences like that, so other like artists, so maybe like more modern. So, I was listening to your song, I know this was 2 years ago, but I can see that Chris Brown was like a huge influence. You got the right time, right? That song, which is the Say Goodbye, cover, but you kind of like,
Mhm.
you remixed it, right? I remember like listening to just like any Chris Brown song, like you always just want to dance, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, and like just that. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to say. So like I remember when I first heard Mini Man by 50 Cent.
50 Cent. Yeah,
Oh my God, just like that chorus, just like I remember we were sitting literally outside, me and the kid. I was like seventh grade, and the dude I was playing it, he had his F-150 playing out loud, and it was like many men, many men. And as soon as I heard that algorithm, I just like like I was addicted to the song. Like I was like, yo, like
yeah.
it's a really good song. Any other songs like have that appealing like effect on you?
Oh man, it's a lot, bro.
Give us like your
Usher's
three
whole
favorites.
Confessions
Yeah.
album.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Usher's whole that album for me really. So Usher's Confessions album, Justin Timberlake's Future Sex Love Sound album, and
Yes.
then
Yes.
the third album for me that was really like transcending, and I'm just like, this is crazy. Man, this is tough to put it in order like that. I say Genuine, 100% Genuine. Those three for me
Yeah.
were like
Even
incredible albums.
Bachelor was really good too.
Oh
Genuine's
yeah, it was a great
Bachelor.
album. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And so like any songs off those albums, I think when I heard My Love, that Sexy Back and My Love, both the way Timbaland like approached the music for that album was just
Mm.
like I had never. I think people were using transitions like that before, but like I don't know, it just seemed fresh and new the way they did it, like how the
I
songs
mean,
just would
yeah.
transition out and
Authentic.
transition into the next one. Yeah, it was
Right.
just
Yeah.
crazy to me. I was like, this is insane. So,
Yeah.
and then Usher's Confessions album is timeless because he just told a story. Like it literally was just a story. The whole album
Yeah.
was from beginning to end a story, and the songs were like top tier songs. Like it just, I still to this day, me personally, I haven't heard an album like beat Confessions. Like it just,
Yeah, bro. From the first
I,
song.
I know both of them been chasing. They both been kind of chasing those albums, but it's just like it just was the right time, the right feeling, and just the right things together that made it happen. You can't really emulate that. It just happened. You know what I mean? It was just supposed
So
to happen that way.
so there you have Jermaine Dupri pretty much wrote, you know what I'm saying, that
Yeah,
album. He said that the stories are actually about his relationship with Janet Jackson, and then you got Timberland, right? He was all over Future Sex Love Sound. Even like the first track on Future Sex, she got me going, she got me in the
yeah,
zone.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
like
what's
that.
crazy is he did 100% Genuine too. So
Yeah, right. And
it's a
so I was,
Timberland's a
yeah,
beast, bro.
I was telling my wife, I was like, Justin Timberlake is literally what he tried to do with Genuine, but Genuine, you know what I'm saying? Like he was hot, right? You know what I'm saying? He was popular, but
what's it?
so yeah,
What's
so I know
funny?
that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what's funny? That's a touchy subject for G because like I tour with him. And so like I mean, he doesn't have animosity or anything, like we are. That was years ago, but like him and Timberland were a little bit at odds
Yeah, I bet.
from. Yeah, he's like, dude, you giving him all these songs, like he was a little, I guess I would say
Yeah,
jealous. I mean, but I would be too. I'm like, dude,
yeah,
you gave him that because
yeah.
it was crazy, man.
It's literally, I don't say it's carbon copy, but you can match like the way that he produces it with his little bitty things that he does to how Genuine is flowing on it. Like it's so authentic, but it wasn't as mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Until he came
Yeah,
out with 100% Genuine, and then you had like a bunch of classes on there. Like it's so many classes on there. But Justin Timberlake was like, you know what I'm saying, in sync, right? And so he just got that little machine, and then he made Future Sex Love Sound, and then 2020 is really good too because it's all
yeah, that's a great
Timberland,
album. Mm-hmm.
all Timberland and James
Definitely great.
Fauntleroy, and James Fauntleroy. He wrote
Yeah, James.
he wrote on every song.
Yeah. So he actually the vocals of my Hallelujah song. He's the vocals in the beginning.
So yeah, man. So what's the importance of producers, man? Like you can sing a song, you can rap a song, but what's the importance of like production, and how do you like incorporate that into your music street, music?
So I would say it's a difference between beat makers and producers. I definitely want to let people know, like, producers are somebody that obviously can play instruments, they can create beats, but they also are producing the song to make the song a song. So like if I go in the studio with King Bay is a friend of mine who produces for a lot of people. He actually works with James Farm, also. And he's gonna make sure that the song comes together. So he's gonna do the drums, live drums and instruments and put it all together. And then as I'm singing or writing to it, he's gonna make sure that the chorus sounds like it should be here, or you know what I mean, actual producing, vocal producing also, you know what I mean, like, oh, sing it this way, don't sing it that way, or because a lot of times it's a lot to go into great records. A lot of people don't know that. Like they think, oh, you just sat in your room, you wrote a record. No, you can, but it's like a million other people that sometimes are involved with these songs. Now there are guys that just, you know, like Neo can come write a song top to bottom, vocal produce it. He's one of those guys. Like, you know, I like that. That's just at that level. But it's always good to have. Yeah, I'm the type of guy. I like to work with other people and just get different perspectives because I want to make the best thing possible, like the best song possible when I'm working. So, in the beginning, it did start out just me, but like I started building and bringing people in, and you know, just getting their input too.
So, who are your top 3 writers in rap or music? So, my top 3 writers are. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, man. Jay-Z, because he doesn't write, so I don't know if that counts, right? But he's in the Writer Hall of Fame. Jermaine Dupri, and then Jonte Austin.
Jonte's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. And Neo, I'll say Neo. I'll just say top 4 because Neo is like I'm beefing with him right now, but you know what I'm saying, respect to the music, bro.
Yeah. So I usually separate rap and R&B. Jay-Z is definitely one of the greatest rappers of all time. That's not even like a debate. I would say of all time.
Yeah, go ahead and kill my top 3.
Yeah, I'm like, this is super tough. I'm gonna go out. Bruno Mars is an incredible songwriter.
Really?
Just the little things, I mean, he's wrote some incredible records for other people and himself. The Dream is incredible.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say Rico Love. Yep.
Yeah, man. And then you got Eric Bellinger.
Yeah, I actually got a show Eric this Saturday out here in Vegas.
Yeah. Super dope. So
Eric has a camp now though. So like, you know, he's at that level to where he can bring it, like Dream also, like they have camps. So they writing, but they also have they helping other writers also. So they giving back and reaching back to other writers and helping them get up. You know what I mean? And that's super rare and respect.
So before I ask you the teacher question, what is a writing camp, and what's the benefit of having like a writing camp compared to like just literally writing like on your own within the moment?
So basically, a writers camp is like, all right, so I got a session and I'm inviting like 10 writers in, right? We all writing to records, basically. Because 10, 20, you got all these writers. Yeah, I mean, you have, because you're working all day, like it's a camp, so you're in there for maybe 5 days. And
in a room?
No, not necessarily a room. Like you can get a studio and it's like different rooms. Yeah, you know what I mean? We all working in different rooms.
Like the Dreamville session.
Working on, basically, and we're working on, we writing to sessions, writing a beat. And somebody of influence who can get these records placed is basically like, so if Eric Brown has a writing camp and I go and I wrote this verse or took on this song and the song gets placed, now I got a placement and I got points for, you know what I'm saying? And it helps me with other opportunities. And that's basically just what a writers camp is, just coming together with a bunch of talented people and the vibe is right and everybody just giving the day all to make a hit record. You know what I mean?
Okay. So real briefly, how'd you get in a writers camp? Just doing music, writing for people, and just networking?
Yeah. Most of the times, I mean, like if you got music out, word of mouth. or just building that relationship. Like, hey man, I'm a writer, and you stay in touch with this person, and the opportunity comes. Hey, I got this writers camp. You do whatever you got to do to get there. A lot of times they're in LA, or Atlanta,
Yeah.
and you just got to get there. And if you get the invite, you just got to get there and be a part of it, because you never know. Like, a lot of opportunities happen in these writers camps, like placements. You get a placement and it's a hit record and you out of there. You know what I mean? It just as a writer, not even as an artist, but the writing funds your art. Like Money Long, she funded her whole career off of songwriting. She's an incredible writer too, by the way.
Yes, she is. Shout out to the writers, man. SZA, Money
Oh
Long.
yeah, incredible.
Oh
incredible.
Man, won't be disrespectful. Missy Elliott. There we go.
Oh yeah, Missy. Yeah, hands down. She a goat.
And so let's talk about joy, man, because you hit on that, right? So you talk about like the importance of just like not only being in joy, but like recognizing something that's joyful, acknowledging it, like, and like, because like, everyone don't grow up like, listening to secular music or listening to music, right? Some people got a lot of beliefs, right? For me, my mom didn't let me listen to hip hop till I was a certain age, right? And so I had to like sneak and listen to it, right? Some people can't even listen to it at all, right? And so like as a teacher, I try to create those same experiences in the classroom where I want you to love science. Because if I can get you to love science, you might learn a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But it all starts with like building that relationship to kind of like, if I love this, maybe I can get you to like it, and using joy as a hook. What's a teacher tip would you give out to music educators or artists who teach other artists or just other educators out there about just the importance of joy, or just like what other tips would you give them? Or a tip?
I would say you got to put your 10,000 hours in, right? So like in the process of doing that 10,000 hours, like I feel like even now when I look out into like the landscape of like music, a lot of artists aren't doing the artist development part. So like you gotta sit in front of your mirror and even if you're singing other people's songs, like you gotta have fun, like the fun part. You gotta enjoy doing music and fall in love with music. So I would sit in front of my mirror and pretend I was performing for thousands of people every day after school. You know what I mean? 106 in Park, come on. I'm pretending I'm at 106 in Park. You got to do that. You got to really don't hold back on your imagination. Like you have to let that part of you be free to excel and get the max creative abilities from yourself. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people focus so much on like the cool part of it, and that's like that comes with when you get a team and they help you and all that stuff. But like the creative process is supposed to be fun and free. It's not supposed to be restricted to where you're like thinking about what other people are going to think or worried about how you look. So definitely, focusing on the creative part and having fun and just being open and free and not worrying about what other people are thinking about it. And that'll help a lot of people. That'll help you. Like that'll help you accelerate to where you're actually trying to go. You know what I mean?
So Einstein said like imagination is way more important than knowledge, because he used to sit in like a chair and just think about physics for 3 hours. He called them thought experiments, right? And he also believed that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. How important is making simple music, timeless music?
I mean that's tricky because I think it's tricky in genres like R&B artists. I think we overthink a lot. Like we'll add like 100 harmonies to a song. It's like, yo, it didn't really need that, bro. Like, man, like you went a little too far. And then rappers sometimes are like too basic to where they don't add enough. They just like, yeah, that's it. You ain't gonna stack that, or you're not gonna like. And so I think it's like a complex thing, but like I said, I think sticking to what feels right, you like your intuition, because we all have intuition. And a lot of us don't trust our gut. We kind of go with like we're worried about what other people are thinking. So in creating, you can't really worry. You literally have to shut that off. Like I can't worry about how this person may think of what this person may think about this. I have to focus on how it's making me feel, because we're all humans, we're all connected. So like if it's making me feel away, then it's gonna probably more than likely make this person feel away. You know what I mean? Maybe not everybody, because some people have their own issues and stuff going on.
Right.
that won't allow them to even feel what you're talking about, maybe, you know what I mean? Or they've had an experience and they hurt and they don't want to relate to that. So if I'm singing about love, then of course people who had just got out of a bad breakup or grew up a certain way, they're not gonna like it just off top. And that you
Right.
can't take
Yeah,
that. You can't
bias.
let other people project. Yeah, they can't. You can't, and they don't even realize they're being biased. You know what I mean? That's why you really can't. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to worry about what everybody's feeling at all the time, because it's never really acts about you. Like, even outside of music, this is how this is how life is.
So how does song level the process relate to getting in the zone?
Um, I think getting in the zone is more of just focusing on, almost like being in the military. You get up every day, you work out, you basic training. You go to the range, you learn how to shoot, you learn how to walk and march and do all this stuff. Doing it every day in repetition and forcing yourself even when you don't want to, like exercising. Half of us don't want to exercise, but if you don't exercise, you're not gonna be healthy. So you gotta train your mind to do things even when you don't want to do them. Because sometimes it is not gonna be fun. Like, you're gonna have to sing in the rain, maybe, or it's gonna be super hot outside. You have to perform outside. It's gonna be super hot. It's not gonna be pleasant. But the love that you had initially is what's gonna get you through it. So, I think going into it with that mindset is what will prepare you. Practicing and rehearsing is what's going to prepare you for your moment, staying ready and just excelling in the opportunities that you get.
Did you hear the Apply Pressure song by J. Cole when Damian Leonard, he's talking in the beginning?
Yeah.
He's talking about preparation, and like when you try to bring it out, you lied or you cheated and you didn't really put forth the effort, it shows, right? Because you weren't in the zone in the process. So how you gonna be in the zone when
Zone when it's time?
or I do a speech? I literally do the speech 500 times before the speech happens. Hold on, I got an internet connection. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. And so like when I get up there and it's time for me to like perform, it comes out so natural. I am in the zone because you know what I'm saying? I did it 500 times, right? And
Yeah.
so one thing I love about the music industry, but I kind of don't like it, is that it's now catered more to the small man, I feel, or the underground more, because you got streaming now, right? Where anyone can put out an album. People are pushing songs out like it's nothing, right? You still got to produce it. You have some companies that are trying to mass produce music, and obviously we know what that produces, right? How has the streaming industry impacted you? And do you think you all should go on strike like the actors and writers?
Ooh, that's a tough one on the strike. So my thoughts about streaming is it is a bit overwhelming sometimes. Like, to see all these people, because when we were growing up, it was just different. Like, you didn't have access. Everybody couldn't just put out music. Like, they'd have to like record it, put it on the CD, and throw it out their trunk and give it out to people. And if they liked it, then they would probably get traction that way and start doing shows and opening for the artists that came into the city. But now, and it's not even that it's overwhelming because of so many talented people that you see every day, because that can be overwhelming. But it's like, it's a lot of. I think it gives the impression that everybody can do it, and that's what I don't like. I don't enjoy, like, because I think people confuse like being in love with music with being knowing how to do music and make music. And right, like, I kind of, it may contradict my statement a little bit on, like, if you that happy, then you should be leaning towards it. But that don't necessarily mean you should be making music. You could be a manager. You know what I mean? No, you could be a manager. You could be A&R. You can find people that do music.
Yeah.
Because you have it. You like,
Right.
because everybody, that's also a talent that, like, yes, you can learn how to play piano. You can learn how to do all that stuff. You can learn how to sing at a young enough age. But you can tell the people that were just blessed to do it, that got it, like, and that's why they excel. And you just like, wow, this person is insane. I mean, they got PR and all the other stuff too, but like, just raw talent on the stage, like, you can definitely see, like, this, like Whitney Houston, she just had it. Like, it was Michael Jackson, they just had it. They were just different. Like, and so Chris Brown is an incredible performer. Like
From
he just has
Tappahannock,
it. I know plenty of guys. Yeah, I know a lot of guys that can get up there and dance and do a lot of stuff. But it's just different. Some people just different. They just gifted. So yeah, just because you love it don't mean that it necessarily you should be making it or that's your calling. And I think a lot of people misinterpret that. They jump right into like, and I think they think because it's easy, and it's actually being an artist is probably one of the hardest jobs next to anything in entertainment. Being an actor, being trying to be in the spotlight is hard. Like that's not an easy thing to do. And I think because it makes it look easy on the internet, you can just record and people might look and they might not. People misinterpret that for like easy because everybody wants to take the easy way out, and it's not. Like you gotta put the work in. You gotta put the 10,000 hours in, and a lot of people see the success of it and they want the success immediately because they think it's instant, but it's really not.
you know, Masego.
Oh yeah.
So Masego is from where I'm from, Norfolk. He went to college there, and I'm friends with one of his pianists. He's actually my wife's best friend, and I just asked him. I was like, why is he like, because he kind of blew up really quick. And he got it from networking, right? He said he got out of Virginia, he moved to LA, he was homeless, he was sleeping on somebody's couch, and he was thugging it out, man. And then, like I thought about that, I was like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just be the man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't think about that. Like I've done it. I've been to LA. I've been to LA, been homeless. Like I've done all that. Like there are so many sacrifices that you really got to make, and that's when you're like, all right, do I really want it? Like, do I love this? And you're like, yeah, I do. Whatever I got to do. If I got to be a bum for 3 months, 4 months, and not know when I'm eat ramen noodles, not know when I'm do the next get the next gig or whatever. That's how much you love the game, and there's a lot of people that really don't love it like that. And what makes me even more mad or frustrated is the people that have like the means to do it and they just doing it just because they can do it. And it's like, come on, man, you don't even love this for real. Like you just doing it because for all the wrong reasons. You just taking up space. Like it's enough room for everybody, but then it's not because it's like you're taking up space just to be taking up space and you don't love it. And then you also the messages that you're projecting out to the world or to these people that are listening, these young people, like they very easily influenced. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say names, but there's one joint that's out right now is killing me, man. The old girl with the brown and the I don't even know her name, man.
Yeah. Carbon copies of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just like, come on, man, and it's hurting female hip hop. Like female hip hop took strides. It was really soaring. Now I'm seeing the decline now because I'm like, now the caliber of people that y'all putting out, they aren't lyrically even gifted. Like they aren't, and I'm not saying you got to be like all like super conscious, like on like some Queen Latifah or like Lauryn Hill type deal, but like, yo, you gotta be able to balance it both. Yeah. And they ain't even got the basics. They couldn't even freestyle if you put them in a, you know what I mean? And that's crazy to me. It's all look and just the perception.
So Karlos Farrar, my brother's coming through, dropping knowledge. He's telling us the difference between loving music and actually being able to do music. Love, like being in music and the music industry are two different things, right? But why should people? Why do you love music, right? And how can people tell that through your music?
I love music because it's just in me, man. Like I'm miserable. Like I've never like stopped like saying, oh no, I'm not gonna do music no more. But there's been periods in my life where I wasn't actively recording or touring or doing stuff because I just had stuff going on. But I noticed during those times in my life, I was miserable. And I've gone through hard things and been doing music, things way worse than the times where I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like I was going through life, just going through it and not doing music. And my life wasn't bad. But then there's times when I was like in super like messed up situations and doing music and I was still happy, like in the happiest of my life. And that was when I was younger and it was like this point and I'm thinking like, wow, I really love this. Like this really makes me happy. And I feel like I'm really supposed to be doing this. I think the preparation that I put into doing my music and the sacrifices I've made have at least, shown me that I know that this is my purpose and this is what I'm here for. It's my approach on music is always a balance. I like to be balanced. So I like to do fun stuff. I like to do real life stuff about real life situations. like No Justice, No Peace.
Yeah. Yep. Great song.
And then you know, The Right Time is about relationships. We all in relationships. We've been in tough relationships, and I try to approach it. It's very hard to like talk about things that haven't been talked about before, especially in R&B, because it's really just all about relationships most of the time. So I just try to find different approaches to it, or you know, piggyback off of maybe a scenario that's been talked about, but maybe they didn't take it the way I want to take it.
Thank you, bro. And we're about to close, but I want to ask you a big, a little deeper philosophical question. How you liking the podcast so far, man?
No, it's great, man. This is actually different questions. I enjoy it.
Excellent.
Definitely enjoy it.
So I read this poster about, pretty much it said, art should not be sold. And obviously we sell art because you got to make a living. But essentially what it was talking about is just like art shouldn't be owned. So you remember Note to Self by J. Cole when he talked about like sampling and how like we should not be like trying to keep samples because you're kind of disrupting the creative process, right? But then you also got people who like take samples, they make the music, right? And they never do anything with it, right? So it's a type of meaningless to music. So in the Bible, it talks about how everything is meaningless and how nothing's new under the sun, and how when you do something, it's good to put stock in your legacy. It's good to put stock in yourself and try to save it. But eventually you're going to be forgotten and you're going to become meaningless, right? So essentially what the Bible verse talks about, the importance of enjoying. So we talked about joy, right? Being in the moment, enjoying that moment, and getting inspired from it, right? And you know what I'm saying? Trying to recreate those moments. What do you have to say to that?
Man, that is deep.
Meaningless, like music being meaningless, and why? Because I feel like if we treat music as meaningless versus like trying to have it with a purpose all the time, trying to have it with a motive all the time, we might make better music because we're so caught up in the moment and with the creation of it, and you enjoy it, you give it to somebody or you throw away with it and you go right back to, you know what I'm saying? Making great music. I think of like MF Doom, right? MF Doom had all these personas. You didn't know what he was because it was just the music with him. It was all music, right? It was kind of meaningless too because he'll put out a tape. You didn't even know he came out with a tape until 10 years ago, right? Or 10 years, right? It's so esoteric, so underground, right? But you appreciate the music so much because it's so, I don't know, it's not valuable, but I don't know.
Yeah. So my approach on that, like, so I have a lot of friends in the business and like producers, songwriters, and they have, man, if you went through their hard drive, I'm talking about thousands of songs you'll never hear. And I used to frustrate me because I'm like, yo, this is incredible. Why has nobody heard this? And I battle with it because it's like I'm just making music, bro. Like I just love to make music. Like I don't really care if people hear it or not. And I got older and it really hit me, I'm just like, well, they're just doing what they love to do. Like but they're also in the business of selling songs. So it's like it's conflicted because it's like, all right, he's like, yeah, but I made this one for me. Like I made it for my personal, I was going through something and it's really just close to me. And I started to understand and respect it because I'm like, okay. And I started to take the approach myself on it. Like I have songs now that probably had never come out, but I they were close to me and maybe they ain't even good. I don't know. They aren't. They were to me. It was more so just the emotion of getting it out. So I definitely can relate to. I get it. Like I get the meaningless thing. It's just that when you start making money and get involved with the politics of it, it's hard to. It's hard to like differentiate the two. It's hard to like, okay, keep a balance of like, all right, I need to keep some of this for myself, just for my own therapy and sanity. But yeah, I think it's healthy, definitely to
bro,
create not with intentions. Yeah, you know what I mean? Not just have intentions. I mean, sometimes people are hiring like, yo, I need this kind of record. And you're like, all right, well, that's the kind of record we're gonna write. But like in the creative process of it, it's like, all right, well, let's make sure we in the studio and it's fun. Like, okay, let's make sure like everybody in the studio's energy is right. You know, nobody's like chill or everybody's excited. You know what I mean? And that helps. The energy is really what creates the music, just the vibe. So if I'm making a slow song, it's probably just me in the studio and the engineer, because I want to be in that moment. I want to be depressed in that moment, so it can translate through the music. If I'm making a club record, I might invite 20 people to the studio. Just it'd be a hassle because everybody talking and acting crazy, but like that's the energy I want. I want to go flow through me into the song so they can feel that. And you can feel it in a lot of music you listen to. You like that Chris Brown joint,
Sierra.
the one with Usher. You can feel that they were just having they were partying and like I could feel the energy. Like I'm like they were going crazy. Yeah, they were going crazy in the studio. Like I can feel it.
New Flame. And that's actually when I got back on Chris Brown when he came with that song. Thanks so much, Karlos, bro. You've been killing it with these really dope, informative answers as it relates to obviously creative process, but also in the music, bro. I can definitely tell like you're in the trenches, just writing music, loving it, and giving it away. You know what I'm saying? But as we close, man, what is some advice you'll give to people that are interested in joining the music industry?
I would say first, have a strong team, build those relationships because a lot of times stuff is not just given out. It's definitely relationships and knowing the right people. Don't burn bridges. And you're gonna want to burn a lot of bridges, but just be humble. Be humble, don't burn the bridges, build those relationships and have a solid team around you that are all on the same page. Everybody's on the same page with knowing what the goal is. So if the goal is you, everybody gotta know, like, all right, what do you bring to the table? What you bring to the table, and what are we all doing together to get to the goal? And that's like the best advice I can give anybody. Just getting started.
How you stay humble?
I stay humble by just keeping my people around me that just keep me humble. It's funny. I was just out there in Detroit, and my cousin's like, "You so humble." I mean, they going crazy, screaming. It was love out there, man. I love Detroit. I love my city. So like, it was super love. And my cousin's like, you humble. I'm like, yeah, because this could be gone any moment. I could die tomorrow, God forbid, or I could lose my voice. I could break my leg and never be able to dance again, and I got to change my whole style of music because it ain't gonna correlate visually. Anything can happen. So,
right.
Be humble because God gave it to you at the end of the day. So you gotta appreciate that. And I think the best way to show appreciation is to be humble.
Bro, Detroit loves you, man. Thank you so much for obviously showing that love, bro. Karlos, go ahead and tell us again, what do you do and where can they find you?
Karlos Farrar, man. I'm on Instagram, Twitter. Well, I'm not on Twitter anymore. Actually, I'm on Threads now. I gave up Twitter. YouTube, everything's at Karlos Farrar, my first last name. New singles out right now, The Right Time. Leave You Alone was the last single with my DJ So Hype. And yeah, man, it's just grinding, man.
Yeah, man, you're a little bit too humble, man. Go ahead, talk your ish, dog. Go ahead, you know what I'm saying?
Stay too humble.
This was fun, man. It's a lot of fun, man. Thank you so much for blessing the podcast, bro. Here, let me go ahead and stop. Good job, bro. That was good.
That was I appreciate it, man.
A lot of fun. How'd you like that?
That was cool, bro. The questions were different. Actually, I really like the questions, man. Like they usually say that like super superficial, like the same question, and you feel like a robot. You're like, I'm gonna answer this question. I always appreciate interviews where the questions are like, they provoke thought. Because like sometimes it's just programmed. You're just like, oh, where'd you grow up? Well, I grew up in Detroit. what? Even some of the questions that were kind of like I've heard before, they still were asked in a different way to provoke thought rather than have to give a response that you always give and it's like super like, plain.
You come from good stock, bro. I think I come from good stock, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure, survive. Thank you, brother, man. I appreciate you blessing the podcast. Would you recommend anybody coming on the podcast? And if so, who?
Maybe my artist. I got my little cousin. She's younger though. I don't know if she's like 16, but yeah, she's under me and she's dope, man.
You'll connect us?
Okay. Yeah, I plug you. I just send her your Instagram. I send her mom your Instagram. I'm a co-manager, but her mom's like her manager, so I just send it to her and let her know like when you want to vibe.
Does she have a single out already?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you waiting for?
So Can you? So yeah. So I appreciate that. Can you send me your single so I can put it on the video and can you hear me?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Are you good? Did you hear that, or you want to repeat that?
Yeah, I heard, can you send me the single, and then it broke up.
Yeah. And I was saying, can you send me the single so I can put it on the video, so we can promote it, boost it. You know, you probably already got enough boosting, but definitely want to support you, man. Really appreciate you. Obviously, coming and blessing the podcast, and you from Detroit, so we gotta, you know, what I'm saying, we gotta stick together, dog, because you're doing a lot of great things, man. And that humbleness is gonna keep you in those doors. So we're really proud of you over here.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man. For real.
Yeah, big bro.
And,
Yeah. You got any questions for me? Anything, man?
you sent your email, right?
Yeah.
If not, you can text it to me. I'll send you the song.
Let me get your email right now. Oh, I got it already, actually. Thing. Thank you, bro. That was dope, bro. I love music, man. I love. I was one of those people that I was the manager while my friend was the artist, and it was a lot, bro. It was a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot. It was a lot. So that you
Yeah,
definitely
it was
gotta love it.
definitely. I tell people, man, there's so many sacrifices that's made and stuff you don't. It's tough, bro. I tell you all the time, it's not what you think. Like, it's actually miserable. Like, it's actually miserable because it's like I want to stop. I don't want to put myself through this, but it's like you can't. You love it too much, and you can't. Almost like a bad relationship. Now that I think about it. No, I don't want to leave her. I love her.
See, that's the
cheating
music.
on you.
Yeah.
I
Kanye said,
can't leave her.
say they pay you just enough to be broke, you know, so you
Yeah.
have to.
And what's crazy is so that song "Leave You Alone" that I have out, it's actually about music. It's not even about a girl.
But
Yeah, it's about music. Like, we had it, we lost it. That's me. I just put it in the perspective of a woman, so you know the average person can relate. But that's really what the song's about. Like, it's about the wanting to. I've been times where I'm just like, I don't want to do this no more, dude. Like, it's exhausting. And then as you get older, you're like, oh man, I'm hitting the age where. But then we black, so we look younger. So it's like, all right, I guess I can give it another year, another 2 years. But man, it's tough.
But yeah, like you said, man, keep your people around you, man. Keep focusing on the love, keep enjoying life, man, because we need more brothers enjoying life. Obviously, not just making money, but also just enjoying life. And you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, just, you know, you doing a good job, bro. I'm proud of you, man. So if none of that encouraging, man, let you know I'm proud of you, dog. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
I just emailed you, so just, you know what I'm saying. Just send it there, and you let me know if you got it or not.
Yep, I got it right now.
Man, it's perfect. All right, and then yep, we're off the live, and so I'll send you like just everything, and then all I need, just, you know what I'm saying, just share it to all you people. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, boost the interview out. It's a really dope interview, so people are gonna like it. So you know, let's people get some of this knowledge, man, so they can go to mileage. Like, I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to rhyme. All right, big bro. But yeah, man, you got any questions for me at all?
No, bro, we good, man.
All right, big bro. So I'm gonna try to chop this up, but pretty much try to end of the week. And then I'm gonna just shoot it to you. I'm gonna send you a bunch of clips and stuff. If you can put them on your Instagram, I really appreciate it. If not, you can keep them. But yeah, man, I'm gonna send you the stuff, okay?
All right, got you. I'm sending an email to you right now too.
My man. All right, big bro. Take it easy, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right.